close do you feel like you are to game ready when you show up at this event? You've had some weeks off.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think a lot of times you have to see and feel how things are in competition, and I took a pretty good break after the Ryder Cup, and my season's going to start a little later than it normally would with Maui being canceled. So I feel pretty good.
When you look back at last off-season, obviously you sort of got derailed a little bit by the injury. How much are you embracing this off-season as something to get back into the routine and do the things that you want to do?
Yeah, it's nice. I feel like I'm on a similar routine to how I was going into last off-season, and I don't anticipate any interruptions this time around, but surprises happen. But I'm remaining hopeful that nothing will go down. But it's good to be back on routine.
Did you stay away from wine glasses at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I don't cook. I don't touch glass.
I know last year you obviously kind of debuted the Claw, at least in competition here. I know this week you have a new driver in play. Does this week kind of work as one of those weeks where you can kind of test things out?
I would say that's a lot of what's really valuable for me about this week. And like I said, testing things out in competition is a good way of kind of seeing where you're at. You can simulate competition at home, but coming out here and playing stroke play is always a bit different over the course of 4 days. And I find this week to be pretty valuable.
Just a bit granular on that driver. I think similar face to what you've had previous years. What do you like about that, kind of carrying stuff over, but also then new tech in there? Yeah,
I mean, for me so far, this driver has been a really good fit for my eye, and that's always the first test for me. And so far, the performance has been good. My spin numbers have been really consistent. Ball flight's been consistent, and I'm looking forward to getting in competition.
When did you first swing it? How was the process of TaylorMade kind of introducing you to it?
Yeah, so last year I had a little bit of trouble getting into the QI 35, and I felt like we learned a lot throughout that process of what I like to see in a driver, the way it needs to perform for me specifically. And going into this year, I felt like Adrian and the whole team at TaylorMade had a really good kind of idea of what my eyes needed to see in order for the driver to be able to work. And so we went through a lot of different kind of options for what the face needed to be specifically for me, and felt like we're in a good spot. And then the testing was a lot simpler this time around for sure.
Your track record here is pretty unbelievable. What is it that you love about this course? I don't think you've ever shot above par.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good golf course. I mean, you got to keep the ball in play. It is funny, coming in, this would be the first event typically from a long break, and so you don't really ever know how things are going to go. And I've had some success here. I think a couple seconds and a couple firsts, and so it's a golf course that I like. It's a great place to be able to practice and kind of get back onto schedule with my trainer and Teddy and guys that I don't really see throughout the off season, and so I find this week to be pretty valuable as I look towards starting next season.
Hey, Scottie, I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you have checked the stats page of PGA Tour, and do you know how many stats category you are leading in at the end of the year?
I didn't check any of that.
But
sorry.
Talking of consistency, I mean, we were asking Tiger. It's almost, people are saying it's Tiger-like consistency that you're showing for the past 2 years. Can you, when Tiger was on that kind of a roll, 2000, 2001, what was the thing that you really liked most about Tiger's game?
I mean, I was pretty young back then. I got to catch up on all that stuff from YouTube and stuff like that. But I would say Tiger, when he was in the field, I think he was a guy that was always give himself a chance to win. And there was very few spurts throughout his career where he wasn't the best player in the world. And I would say that's one thing I admired about him, is he always had an ability to hit many different types of shots and was always working extremely hard on his game. He was never complacent or satisfied with where he was at, with his game, and kind of always kept working. And I've admired that about him.
What letter grade would you give your season 2025 if you were going to give it one?
No idea.
Fair.
Scott, we talked to a couple of players, and they said they were impressed by the meeting with Brian and Tiger yesterday. What were your impressions?
Yeah, I met Brian towards the end of the season. He seems like a good guy. He's got a lot of ideas. He seems very smart, knowledgeable. He's working really hard, and so I've been very pleased with the conversations that I've had with him, the things that I've been hearing. I think they're looking at things the right way, and I'm excited about some of the changes that they're looking to make. And I mean, obviously, right now nothing's set, and I think right now they just have kind of some loose ideas of things that they're looking at, and he brings kind of some fresh ideas to the table for sure.
When you look at what they talked about to a certain degree last night at that meeting, what would the perfect tour schedule look like to you? Is there anything that stands out as
I mean, no, I don't know what a perfect schedule looks like for me. I like being able to have a little bit of freedom in the way I play. Tournaments, that's something that I think is an advantage to our tour, and I definitely enjoy that part of it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to play where the best players are playing, and I love competition. I love playing against the best players, and so wherever those guys are playing, that's probably where you're going to see me.
Do you anticipate, because you're not playing Century, adding anything early in the season?
Probably not.
When you look back, say 10 years from now, what do you think is going to be your fondest memory of this year?
My fondest memory of this year? I mean, I think any season in which you're able to win major championships, I think is very special, especially to be able to win multiple majors. I think especially, the PGA and the Open Championship. The Open Championship is the Claret Jug is a pretty cool trophy to have in your possession. I don't think I underestimated what that feels like, and I've really enjoyed kind of having that at home and being able to celebrate with that. But I think a lot of times the consistency that I played with this year, I'm extremely proud of. I think for me to be able to put in as many top finishes as I did takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of energy and focus in order to be able to do that. And so I was proud of the discipline that I had throughout the season, and not only that discipline, but also staying patient at the beginning of the year when things weren't going as I hoped they would. I was still able to kind of grind out some decent finishes and keep myself in it, and then I started trending, and found myself in a really good spot in the middle of the year.
What have your friends said when they see the two trophies?
Nothing really. I mean, we celebrated after the PGA Championship and after the Open Championship. I'm trying to actually remember. I don't think we didn't really have a big celebration for the PGA Championship just because we were kind of in the middle of the season. But after the Open Championship, we were able to come home and have kind of some end of the year stuff, and so it was really fun bringing both the trophies to. We had like a little dinner with some of our friends, and drank out of the Claret Jug and the Wanamaker, and just did some fun stuff, and it was a good time. Does that answer?